since Ironside's come into the team is when we've been particularly poor. So I wouldn't be against. I know we've just touched on that. None of us think that Josh Davidson is the answer to all of our prayers, but he is. I can imagine he's a bit of a not straightforward to play against as a centre half because he's not a conventional centre forward, and that you wouldn't really know what he's going to do at any moment. He's not a fantastic finisher, but I don't know. I've just been so disappointed with Ironside because I just thought he was going to come into the team and he was going to, really hit the ground running, score goals. Everything I'd seen of Ironside in the past when I'd seen him play against Tranmere was that he was a pest and he was a nightmare and he was constantly sort of snapping at defenders' heels and pushing them about and that. And have we really seen that, or have we really played into his hands? I don't know. So, yeah, like you say, maybe bringing him out the team from the start against Bristol Rovers might be the answer. But I think, as we said, the players that are coming in aren't necessarily going to give us what we want. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how Andy Crosby sees it and what changes he wants to make.
Will Bristol Rovers by no means in decent form themselves, although their season does seem to be kind of the flip of Tranmere. They had a shocking start. They lost their first 4 and then drew 0-0 against Oldham. Since then, things have picked up a little bit, but they have lost their last 2 in the league, albeit quite tough games. 2-1 at Walsall and then drubbed 4-0 by MK Dons at the Memorial Ground last time out, albeit 3 of those goals came from the 83rd minute onwards to make the score look somewhat more crazy than it could have been. Usually it's Tranmere conceding goals after the 83rd minute. So maybe this one's going to be 0-0 until about the 80th, and then it's going to finish 2-2 or something mad like that.
I'll give you a chance to look this up, but the Memorial Ground strikes me as somewhere that we have a horrendous record. I can't really remember in my mind us winning there in recent years, but I seem to remember a lot of poor performances and pretty heavy defeats. So hopefully you've had a chance to look that up. But I don't think we talk about Swindon having a bad result there. We've talked about Mansfield in the past and having a dreadful record there. But I think we can probably file the Memorial Ground with those, can we?
I haven't played there too often, actually. Only been in the same league as each other twice since the early 2010s. 2-2 draw down there last season. Last time played in November 2021. Powell Glatzel and Callum McDonald scored for Tranmere that day. In fact, of the starting lineup that day, and we're only 4 years post then, only Lee O'Connor is still at the club. They also went there in August 2019 under Mickey and lost 2-0. Corey Blackett-Taylor and Ollie Banks were both sent off. Prior to that, there was a win, and I'm sure you will remember the goal because it was a Dale Jennings, very brilliant goal. Spun and smacked it into the top corner, his first goal in professional football. That was the 28th of September 2010. Before that, I remember being at a 1-1 draw there where Stephen Jennings got sent off. There were a couple of defeats, a 0-0 in 2010 under Les Parry when Zoom got sent off. It looks like people get sent off in this fixture. A 2-0 defeat there under Ronnie in 2008 when I think a lad from Middlesbrough on loan called John Johnson had an absolute stinker. But prior to that Dale Jennings goal, Tranmere's last win away at Bristol Rovers would have been in March 1971. So you were quite right. The record there is scratchy at best.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I remembered that. As you say, they're coming off the back of a very poor result on Saturday, losing, even though MK Dons are clearly a very good side. I think losing 4-0 at home to anybody in this league is a very poor result. So they won't exactly be high on confidence going into Saturday. So hopefully we can start the game on the front foot. If you get an early goal against a team like this, then who knows what can happen. So, yeah, hopefully we can go there and have a good go.
If I had the complete record in front of me, which sadly I don't at the moment, I'd be able to tell you who scored the goal in that game. There'll be people listening who very much know the answer to that question as well. But unfortunately, the internet for League One, League Two doesn't go that far back in terms of telling you goal scorers for such games.